Chapter 19, Consolidating Power and Building a Legacy. The street outside echoed with the shuffle of midnight transactions. Vinnie's eyes, sharp and severe, swept over his crew assembling in the courtyard. "Tonight's the night, boys. We move fast, we move hard," he announced, his voice slicing through the ambient whispers of the night. "Take down anyone who thinks they can fill Don Friddi's shoes. We don't stop until every damn rat is flushed out." Frankie tightened his grip on his revolver, his scarred jawline set with determination. "We're ready, boss. Giovanni Frazzetta's crew is gunning for the casinos on Fremont Street. They think we're weak with Don Friddi out of the picture." "They're in for a rude awakening," Vinnie replied, a wry smile curling his lips. He glanced at Susie, standing poised and statuesque in the shadows. She nodded, a silent affirmation of their plan. "Frazzetta won't know what hit him, Vinnie." Susie interjected, her voice low but resolute. Vinnie's expression softened briefly. "Susie, you stick to the capos at the clubs. They need to see a familiar face in charge, someone they can trust." "Got it," she said, her eyes twinkling with determination as she accepted her assignment. The crew dispersed in synchronized efficiency. Vinnie moved towards his car, Frankie at his side. "Frankie, we strike at midnight. Make sure there's no room for doubt," Vinnie ordered. "Understood." Frankie's tone was steely, devoid of any tremor of hesitation. The convoy of cars roared down the strip, engines revving like a symphony of impending chaos. They reached Fremont Street, the neon lights casting long shadows of menace on the walls of unsuspecting establishments. Vinnie stepped out, adjusting his suit as if preparing for a dance rather than a confrontation. Frankie joined him, their presence a dark herald in the neon glow. Inside one of the casinos, an undercurrent of fear ran palpable among the patrons. Vinnie's arrival extinguished the chatter, turning it into an uneasy silence. The house stood on the edge of a knife, waiting. Vinnie's eyes scanned the room. "Where's Frazzetta?" A burly man stepped forward, attempting bravado, but his voice wavered. "He's not here, Moretti." Frankie's revolver flashed out, a swift, calculated motion. "Wrong answer. Try again." The man paled but stubbornly held his ground. "I swear he's not." Another man dashed from the back, panic etched on his face. Frankie's shot caught him in the shoulder, sending him crashing into the roulette table. The crowd gasped, shrinking back, creating space for the unplanned melee. Vinnie remained unruffled, directing his next command to the wounded man sprawled on the floor. "Where's Frazzetta, or your next bet is on when you bleed out." He's at the old train depot by the tracks," the man stammered, clutching his bleeding shoulder. Vinnie nodded to Frankie. "Deal with the rest. Anyone who defies us knows the cost." Frankie's predatory grin flashed as he marshaled the crew. They spread through the casino like wolves in a henhouse, ensuring no dissent would rise from the shadows. Back at the meeting spot, Vinnie regrouped with Susie, their faces illuminated by the flickering street lamp. Vinnie took a deep breath, the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders. He turned to Susie, her auburn hair glowing under the intermittent light. "Susie, you managed to calm the capos?" The question carried more gravitas than he intended. She met his gaze. "Vinnie, they're locked in. I laid it out clearly. Nobody steps out of line." His tension eased, but only slightly. "Good. We need every capo on our side. No loose ends." "They understand the stakes," she replied, eyes shining with a blend of ferocity and assurance. "I made it clear their futures depend on your victory. They're loyal to you now." Vinnie nodded, grateful but still cautious. "We need to make sure they stay that way. Continuity is key." Susie piped up, fingers twitching from the lingering adrenaline. "All the other casinos are secured too, Vinnie. Frankie's boys have them locked tight. No one's making a move without us knowing." Vinnie's mind shifted gears, already calculating the next steps. "Good, let's keep the momentum. Frankie, you got the intel on the depot?" Frankie's face was steely, confidence radiating from him. "Minimal security. Frazzetta won't see us coming." "Then we hit him tonight. No waiting, no letting him regroup," Vinnie decided, voice firm. "Susie, you stay. Frankie, you're with me." Susie turned back to Vinnie. "You got it, Vinnie. Keep it tight and come back in one piece." "Always," Vinnie assured her, his eyes lingering on hers for a heartbeat longer than necessary. They moved with purpose towards their vehicles. Vinnie and Frankie climbed into the lead car, its engine growling to life like a prowling beast. The streets blurred as they sped through the night, the city a cascade of shadows and artificial light. As they approached the old train depot, Vinnie's voice cut through the silence. "Frankie, we go in quick. I don't want to give Frazetta any time to gather his wits." Frankie adjusted his tie, a cold glint in his eyes. "Understood, boss." They moved under the cover of darkness, the ominous stillness broken only by the soft crunch of gravel beneath their feet. The warehouse loomed ahead, its skeletal framework a reminder of the busy train maintenance yard between Los Angeles and Salt Lake City. With a hand signal from Vinnie, his men flanked the building. The door burst open under Frankie's assault, the crash reverberating into the cavernous interior. Giovanni Frazetta's eyes widened as Vinnie stormed in, but he quickly masked his fear with bluster. "You think you can just walk in here, Moretti? Taking over Don Friddi's scraps?" Vinnie's voice was cold, calculated. "That was your second mistake." "And the first?" Frazetta shot back, false bravado painting his facade. "Thinking you had a chance." Vinnie's reply was half snarl, half sentence as he leveled his gun, the room buzzing with imminent violence. In a heartbeat, Frankie's team secured the building, quelling any resistance, the air filled with the tense anticipation of the inevitable. "You've lost, Frazetta," Vinnie stated as if declaring a universal truth. "Join us or vanish, your call." Frazetta's gaze flickered with indecision before it hardened with defiance. "I'll never bow to you." A swift, blurry motion. Vinnie never flinched. Frankie's fist connected with Frazetta's jaw, sending him sprawling to the floor. Frankie stepped back, awaiting Vinnie's verdict. "Get him out of my sight," Vinnie commanded, "and make sure word gets out. Anyone else thinking of challenging us will meet the same fate." With Frankie's efficiency leaving no stone unturned, it didn't take long to clean up. As dawn broke, the warehouse was deserted, filled only with the whispers of what transpired. Back at the Golden Grotto, Vinnie's office provided a serene refuge, a vivid contrast to the night's tumultuous violence. The opulence and order reminded him of the control he exerted over the chaos. Susie entered, sinking into the velvety chair across from Vinnie. "It's done." Vinnie leaned back, his mind running through the night's success. "We've sent a message. The casinos, the negotiations. It's set up," Susie confirmed. "They're seeing the benefits of a stable regime. They'll play ball." Vinnie nodded, satisfaction curving his lips. "Good. Benny always believed in cooperation, even when we didn't agree. I'll make sure the ostrich represents that." Susie's face softened, memories of Benny flickering in her eyes. He'd like that, a lot. Vinnie's gaze grew distant, the weight of leadership settling in. "The ostrich? We'll make it a beacon again. You'll oversee the final touches, Susie?" Her nod was firm. "Consider it done." The rest of the day saw Vinnie's men securing their hold on Las Vegas, eliminating the final remnants of Don Friddi's influence. By evening, a meeting convened in Vinnie's office. The elite of Las Vegas casino owners gathered. "Gentlemen," Vinnie began, hands resting on the polished desk, "we've had our differences, but unity is the key to our survival. No more turf wars. We need a clear agreement on territories and profits." A murmur rose among the owners, wary eyes flipping to Vinnie. One older man finally spoke up. "And if we don't agree?" Frankie's presence was a looming reminder of the consequences. "You've seen what happens to those who stand against us," he interjected. Vinnie continued, his tone smoothing into negotiation. "I'm not looking for more bloodshed. We can all prosper if we work together, but cross me and, well, you know the rest." Another man, younger and clearly less convinced of his invincibility against Vinnie's power, nodded slowly. "Agreed, but we need clear terms." Vinnie's smile was the epitome of a compromise reached under duress. Of course, 70% of all skim, clear boundaries and the casino operations remain untouched. Everyone wins. As murmurs of agreement spread, it was clear the message had been received. The shadow of confrontation gave way to a tentative accord, the torchbearers of Las Vegas's future finding common ground at last. Later, Vinnie found himself atop the newly renovated ostrich, the neon lights reflecting in his eyes. Susie joined him, her silence a comfort. "Benny would be proud," she finally said. Vinnie's nod was slow, reminiscent. "I hope so. This city, it chews you up and spits you out, but together we can change that." She slipped her arm around his, offering wordless support. We've done well. Vinnie's eyes turned down the strip, the playground of dreams and despair. We have, but there's always more to do. Susie's grip tightened, conviction seeping into her words. We're in this together, Vinnie. Whatever comes next, we face it side by side. His smile, though rare, hinted at hope. Yeah, Susie, we do. The city below continued its ceaseless hum, but Vinnie's mind was awash with reflections of battles fought, victories claimed, and legacies yet to be secured. The game wasn't over. It had merely entered a new phase, with Vinnie at its helm, surrounded by loyalty, steered by courage, and driven by an adamant resolve to claim not just Las Vegas, but the very future in his hands. The sun cast a golden hue over Las Vegas as it descended, painting the Golden Grotto's facade in a warm, almost surreal light. Vinnie stood at his massive desk in his opulent office, poring over a map of the city. Each pinpoint and marker represented a part of his growing empire. The city buzzed below him, unaware of the quiet storm brewing in Vinnie's mind. Frankie paced the room, a shadow under the ambient glow of a single, luxurious chandelier. His eyes darted from the map to Vinnie and back, absorbing the gravity of their next moves. Think the folks'll buy it? The whole philanthropy gig? Frankie's voice carried an edge. Beneath the hard exterior was a man ready to protect what they'd built by any means necessary. They won't just buy it, they'll live it, Vinnie replied, a steely gaze fixed on the map. Las Vegas ain't just about the money anymore. It's about giving people something to believe in, something better. Susie stood near a window, her figure silhouetted against the orange hue of the setting sun. She turned, her emerald eyes locking onto Vinnie. You think it'll wipe away the bloodstains, Vinnie? Vinnie's eyes softened, if only for a fraction of a second. No, but it's a start. The sound of the office door clicking open drew their attention. One of Frankie's men, eager yet tentative, stepped in with a stack of papers. Boss, the plans for the school renovations are ready, and the hospital layout too. They just need your approval. Vinnie walked over, quickly scanning the documents. Good. Make sure they get these funds first thing tomorrow. Frankie's man face lit up. Understood. Anything else? Yeah, Vinnie paused, glancing at Susie. Let's ensure our new policy on inclusivity is ironclad. No more backdoor deals, no more closed doors for anyone based on the color of their skin. Spread the word. He nodded and left, the weight of Vinnie's directive evident in his steps. Frankie approached the desk, eyeing the diverse set of projects. You really think this'll turn the tide? Vinnie looked at him. It ain't about thinking, it's about knowing. Trust me, Frankie, people remember who helped them when they were down. We give them a city worth living in, and they give us loyalty. That's our currency now. Susie walked over, placing a hand on Vinnie's shoulder. And what about the commission? They won't like their cash flow being redirected. I'm not redirecting it, Vinnie said firmly. I'm expanding it. We can do both. Fund the community projects and maintain our tributes. It's all about balance. Frankie chuckled, shaking his head. You always did like walking a tightrope, boss, Vinnie smirked. Keeps things interesting. The room's atmosphere shifted as the setting sun fully dipped below the horizon, replaced by the neon glow of the ever-awake city. Vinnie moved towards the balcony, flanked by Frankie and Susie. The cityscape spread out before them, a living testament to power, ambition, and now hope. Susie leaned on the railing, her voice softer. I remember when this place was nothing but dirt and dreams. Look at it now, and look at you. Together, Susie echoed, her tone laced with a mix of admiration and apprehension. Frankie, always the pragmatist, broke the contemplative silence. And the other casino owners, you think they'll fall in line? They'll see the benefits soon enough, Vinnie replied. Prosperity is contagious. They won't want to be left behind. Besides, the alternative isn't just bad for them, it's deadly. Just thinking about Benny, Vinnie said quietly. What he'd say if he saw all this, the good, the bad, the future. He'd be proud, Vinnie, Susie assured him. He believed in you even when you didn't. Vinnie nodded, taking solace in her words, but also a resolute determination to prove her right. At the Golden Grotto, the sense of triumph was palpable. Frankie poured glasses of whiskey, one for each member of their inner circle. To us, and to what's next. Vinnie raised his glass, his voice steady. To Las Vegas, May we make it better than we found it. They clinked glasses, a sound resonating with camaraderie and hope. As the night wore on, Vinnie found himself back on the balcony, the city unfolding beneath him like a vast living tapestry. Susie joined him, her presence a quiet comfort. "Do you really think we can change things?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Vinnie turned to her, his expression a mix of resolve and vulnerability. "It's not about thinking, Susie. It's about doing, and we will." His gaze fell to the framed photo on the railing, the one of him and Benny from years ago. A bittersweet smile tugged at the corners of his lips. "To you, old friend," he murmured, "your dreams live on." Susie squeezed his hand, offering silent support. Together, they stood, watching as the night gave way to the burgeoning dawn, each ready to take on whatever challenges the future held. The road ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but Vinnie, with his trust in his allies and his vision for a better Las Vegas, was prepared to face it head-on. The city may have been built on blood and sin, but Vinnie was determined to carve out something more, something lasting, something worth living for. Chapter 20. The calm after the storm and a shocking revelation. Beneath the electric canopy of Las Vegas, the sky morphed into a surreal painting of vivid blues and shimmering pinks, a vibrant canvas that masked the shadows of its past. Vinnie leaned on the balcony railing of the Golden Grotto, surveying his kingdom. Below him, the casino buzzed with life, patrons cheering at the tables, couples dancing, and the sound of glasses clinking in celebration. Frankie approached from behind, lighting a cigarette. "It's quite a sight, ain't it?" Vinnie gave a nod, the neon glow reflecting in his eyes. "Never thought I'd see it like this, Frankie. Not after everything." Frankie exhaled a plume of smoke, his face unreadable. "You got us this far. We ain't stopping now." Inside, the Golden Grotto's casino floor pulsed with energy. Vinnie descended the grand staircase, greeted by a wave of sound, roulette wheels spinning, dice rolling across craps tables, and the chatter of contented gamblers. Vinnie paused as a couple in their 40s cheered at a blackjack table, the man clutching a stack of chips. "Another winning hand?" Vinnie asked, drawing the couple's attention. The man beamed. "Luck's been with us tonight, Mr. Moretti. It's our anniversary." Vinnie offered a genuine smile. "Congratulations. Enjoy yourselves." Vinnie glanced at a passing cocktail waitress and motioned for her to come over. "Get this couple a bottle of our finest champagne. It's on the house." The waitress nodded and hurried off. Vinnie then turned back to the couple, their excitement glimmering in their eyes. "How about I make your evening even better?" Vinnie said, reaching into his suit pocket. He pulled out a sleek black card embossed with the emblem of the Golden Grotto. "I'm giving you an upgrade to our honeymoon suite and an additional $1,000 in casino chips." The man's jaw dropped. "Are you serious, Mr. Moretti? We don't know how to thank you." "Just enjoy your night and tell your friends about us," Vinnie replied with a wink. The woman, tears of joy welling in her eyes, clasped Vinnie's hand. "Thank you so much. This means the world to us." He patted her hand gently before heading towards the staff area, knowing their gratitude added another layer to the loyalty he was steadily building among the patrons. As Vinnie made his way towards the staff area, a familiar voice pierced through the din of the casino floor. "Vinnie, my man, just the guy I was hoping to see." Mr. Miller, a perpetual fixture in Las Vegas high-roller circles, strutted over, his suit glistening under the casino lights. As always, his entrance was as ostentatious as the city itself. Vinnie sighed inwardly, but plastered on a cordial smile. "Mr. Miller, what can I do for you?" Miller adjusted his cufflinks, his grin wide and impossible to ignore. "I was just thinking, Vinnie, you and I, we should really hang out more. You know, grab a steak, talk shop, maybe even hit the town together. Imagine the two of us ruling this place side by side." Frankie, lingering a few feet away, suppressed a smirk. He had seen this act too many times before. "Miller," Vinnie said, his tone polite but firm, "I've got a lot on my plate. Running this place doesn't leave much time for social calls." Miller chuckled, undeterred. "Come on, Vinnie, you need to loosen up a bit. I've got 2 tickets to that new big-name show at the Ostrich. You know, the one everyone's talking about. What do you say? A couple of hours just to blow off some steam?" Vinnie examined the glittering casino floor, the cascade of lights blurring into one another. He wanted to laugh at the absurdity of it all, but kept his composure. "Miller, I appreciate the offer, but tonight's not the night. Maybe some other time." Miller's face fell just slightly before he brightened again. "All right, Vinnie, I'll hold you to that. One of these days, you and I are going to paint this town red, you'll see." As Miller walked away, his swagger undiminished, Frankie stepped closer to Vinnie. "That guy's persistent. Gotta give him that." Vinnie shook his head, a touch of amusement creeping into his eyes. "Miller's got dreams, big ones, but this world isn't built on dreams alone." As he moved further through the casino, he felt the shift in the atmosphere, a mix of respect and fear. Vinnie stopped next to a slot machine where a woman in her 60s pulled the lever. The cherries lined up, and lights flashed as the machine chattered out coins. "Looks like tonight's your night," Vinnie said. Her eyes widened in recognition. "Mr. Moretti, I didn't expect to see you here." Vinnie chuckled. "I like to keep an eye on things." Frankie trailed behind, his cold, calculating eyes sweeping the room. As the pair walked toward the staff area, Vinnie turned to his lieutenant. "How are the crew doing?" Frankie shrugged. "They're holding up. They're loyal. But there's always something, you know?" Vinnie entered the staff quarters, where a few employees gathered, their chatter ceasing at his presence. He nodded at them. "Everything good here?" A young dealer barely in his 20s stepped forward. "Yes, Mr. Moretti. Just a few complaints about the new slots. Nothing major." Vinnie listened, his gaze shifting to a seasoned pit boss. "And you, Mike? Anything on your end?" Mike shook his head. "All's well, Vinnie, but the boys have been working late. Maybe some extra hands wouldn't hurt." Vinnie nodded. "I'll see to it. Thanks, Mike." Moving to the back areas, Vinnie and Frankie entered the counting rooms. The sound of coins and bills moving through the machines filled the air. Vinnie approached the head counter, who handed him a ledger. "What's the take today?" Vinnie asked. The counter responded without looking up. "We've got a good haul. Commission's cut's been set aside." Vinnie scanned the numbers. Satisfaction clear on his face. "Good. Make sure the rest goes where it's needed." Back in his office, Vinnie pored over documents from the recent power struggles. The room's light cast long shadows across the polished mahogany. Frankie leaned against the doorframe. "Anything new?" Frankie asked. Vinnie rubbed his temples. "We cleared out most of Friddi's men, but there's always more to deal with." As Vinnie rifled through a stack of old files, something caught his eye. He pulled out an old photograph. A young Don Friddi standing with a woman. The dates on the back matched the timeline of Vinnie's early years. Vinnie's eyes narrowed as he closely examined the photograph. "Frankie, look at this." Frankie moved closer, peering over Vinnie's shoulder. "Who's the dame?" Vinnie's voice grew tight. "That's my mother." The gravity of the realization hit Vinnie like a blow. He scrambled for more documents, comparing dates and places. Everything aligned too perfectly to be a mere coincidence. Turning abruptly, Vinnie muttered to himself. He knew, all this time. Frankie pressed him. "What are you saying?" Vinnie's face hardened. "Don Friddi was my father." The room fell silent, thick with the weight of Vinnie's words. Frankie's face betrayed a rare flicker of shock. "Christ, Vinnie, what does it mean?" Vinnie's eyes burned with a mixture of anger and sorrow. "It means I killed my own father without knowing." Susie entered the office, sensing the heavy atmosphere. "Vinnie, what's going on?" Vinnie's voice was barely above a whisper. "Don Friddi, he was my father." Susie's eyes widened, but she stepped closer, offering her support. "Vinnie, you couldn't have known. None of us did." Vinnie's fists clenched on the desk. "It doesn't change the fact, Susie. I killed him. And Harper, even though he was a double-crossing cop, I still killed him." Frankie remained silent, letting the gravity of the situation sink in. Susie moved to Vinnie's side, placing a hand on his arm. "You've always done what you thought was right. You can't let this break you." Vinnie met her gaze, his expression a mixture of pain and resolve. "I have to make this right, for Friddi, for everyone." Susie's voice was firm. "And you will. You're a leader, Vinnie. Look at what you've accomplished. The city needs you." Vinnie took a deep breath, nodding. "We've come too far to stop now. We'll honor their memories by building something worth remembering." Frankie finally spoke, his voice steady. "What's the plan, boss?" Vinnie's eyes sharpened with renewed determination. We continue to secure our territory. We make sure there's no room for anyone who would challenge us. Then we invest in the community. Show them we care. Frankie smirked. Sounds like a hell of a legacy. Susie's voice softened but carried a determined edge. And we'll make sure it happens. Together. Vinnie nodded, a small but significant gesture. Together. As the three of them stood in the electric light of the office, the camaraderie and shared purpose were palpable. The memories of the past weighed heavy, but also fueled the fire for a brighter future. Later, as dawn broke over Las Vegas, Vinnie found himself standing on the balcony of his penthouse at the Golden Grotto, now with Susie by his side. The city stretched before them, a testament to their trials and triumphs. The neon lights still flickered, a blend of promise and peril. Susie rested her head on Vinnie's shoulder. Do you ever think about what could have been? Vinnie's voice was a low rumble. Sometimes. But what's the point? The past is done. All we can do is shape the future. Susie looked up at him, her eyes filled with unrelenting support. And you will. You've got us all behind you. Vinnie's gaze remained on the horizon. We'll build a Las Vegas that's better than before. A place where people can believe in something good. That's how we'll honor their memories. Frankie joined them on the balcony, his presence a reassuring constant. Ready for the next step? Vinnie turned to his loyal lieutenant, a fire igniting in his eyes. Always. As the first rays of sunlight touched the skyline, Vinnie, Susie, and Frankie stood united, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The city that glittered beneath them was more than just a testament to their power. It was a symbol of their resolve, their unity, and the legacy they were determined to build. Chapter 21. Claiming the Legacy. The desert sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the convoy of sleek Cadillacs winding its way to the mansion. The lead car, Vinnie's midnight black Cadillac Eldorado, purred with restrained power as it pulled up to the wrought iron gates. Vinnie stepped out, his movements deliberate and composed. He adjusted his tailored suit, surveying the mansion, a palatial fortress standing guard against the desolate expanse. His presence was ominous. Susie followed, her auburn hair shimmering in the twilight. Her emerald eyes scanned the scene, taking in the staff lined up before them. The staff, once loyal to Don Friddi, now faced their new master. Vinnie's nod was subtle, but it commanded respect. He moved forward, each step echoing with authority. Mr. Moretti, the head of the household staff, murmured, bowing slightly. We are at your service. Vinnie paused before the grand ornate doors. Thank you. Your loyalty will not go unnoticed. We're starting a new chapter here, one built on respect and mutual benefit. Susie's smile was warm but assertive. We have ambitious plans. You all play a part in them. Inside the grand foyer, their footsteps resonated off marble floors, the chandeliers casting prisms of light. Vinnie gathered the staff, his voice carrying weight. This mansion will remain a symbol of power, but under a new rule, ours, he began. Your jobs are secure. We expect loyalty, and in return you will be treated with respect. The staff's murmurs of approval filled the room. Vinnie's eyes darted to Susie, a signal to continue. Our vision is expansive, she said, taking the floor. We intend to make this mansion, and by extension Las Vegas, a beacon of luxury and prosperity. But we'll also ensure it stands for more: integrity, inclusiveness, and progress. Vinnie nodded. Together, we'll build something greater than each of us. As the staff dispersed, Vinnie and Susie began their exploration. The mansion's opulence unfolded room by room, a testament to Don Friddi's wealth. Every corner whispers of power, Vinnie said, his voice tinged with reflection. Susie ran her fingers over a velvet chaise. And now it's ours to shape. The past may linger, but our future shines brighter. They entered the two-story library, lined with leather-bound tomes. Vinnie pulled a book from a shelf, revealing a hidden door to a secret study. Hidden rooms, secret passages, he mused. Friddi was paranoid, so we'll use that to our advantage. Susie agreed. We can host our most confidential meetings here. Her hands brushed over an antique desk. This can be my office. Vinnie's fingers trailed the polished wood. Consider it yours. The scene shifted into a montage of festivities. Grand parties came to life, their laughter mingling with the sound of clinking glasses as high-profile guests danced under the chandeliers. Vinnie and Susie hosted, their partnership evident in every shared glance and whispered strategy. Their life within the mansion was now a blend of affluence and ambition, both professionally and personally entwined. As an evening wound down, Vinnie found himself in the study, once Don Friddi's, now his. He leaned back in a leather chair, contemplating the next steps. Susie joined him, handing over a glass of whiskey. "Penny for your thoughts? Dreaming of the future," Vinnie said, his eyes meeting hers. "We've got a chance to shape the casino industry, control it from the inside out, just like we did in the past." Susie's smile was knowing. "You've always seen the bigger picture, Vinnie. The city needs us to lead." "And then," Susie asked, leaning in, "then we expand. Every new casino, every new development, they'll answer to us. We make alliances, ensure our stakes are solid," he said, a fire igniting in his eyes. "We'll leave a legacy, one that's synonymous with power and progress." Susie placed her hand over his. "Together, we'll build an empire, one that's stronger and more influential than it ever was." Vinnie nodded, his determination unchanging. "And we'll do it right. No shortcuts, no betrayals. We honor what we've built, and we honor those we've lost." "Speaking of legacy," Susie said softly, "what do you make of the old families still hanging around here? Will they be a problem?" "Some will be an asset, others will need to be persuaded," Vinnie replied. "We'll do what we have to while keeping the peace. Las Vegas runs best when everyone believes they're getting a fair shake, even if we're the ones setting the rules." Their discussion evolved into strategic planning, mapping out potential alliances and investments. Susie's keen insight added layers to their approach, her perspective invaluable. "Securing deals with international investors could be key," she suggested, leaning over the desk, "bringing in fresh money, fresh perspectives." Vinnie's eyes glistened with approval. "The global market could transform our game. You always know how to broaden horizons." Their partnership, both in business and love, was a testament to mutual respect. They balanced power with a shared vision, each strengthening the other's resolve. "We've come a long way," Vinnie reflected aloud, his gaze drifting to the distant city lights visible from the study window. "From the streets to here. Why do I feel like this is just the beginning?" "Because it is," Susie whispered. "We're not just leading, we're innovating. We'll leave behind a legacy that's untouchable." Vinnie smiled, her words stirring something deep within. "Let's make it a legacy worth remembering." With a final glance around the study, they moved to the balcony. The desert stretched before them, a canvas ready for their vision. "To us," Vinnie raised his glass, toasting the future, "and to everything we'll build together." "To a legacy that echoes through time," Susie clinked her glass against his, her eyes reflecting the vast horizon. As they stood together, framed by the night's serenity and the promise of dawn, Vinnie's thoughts danced between ambition. Susie leaned against the railing beside him. "We rebuild with purpose, for those who come after us, for a Las Vegas that's as resilient as its brightest lights." The desert breeze carried their dreams, melding them with the sounds of a city that never truly slept. They remained there, silent yet united, envisioning an empire rising from the sands, a testament to their struggle and determination. Their embrace spoke volumes. In that quiet intimacy, they found not just love but a shared purpose. They would face the future, whatever it held, as one formidable entity. The neon lights of Las Vegas blinked in the distance, a symbol of their relentless ambition and the potential for greatness. The mansion, now their stronghold, stood as a monument to their victory and the many battles to come. As they looked over the vast desert landscape, a sense of final resolve settled over them. They were ready to face any challenge, rebuild in their own image, and leave a legacy that would be remembered long after the neon lights faded. The future beckoned, and they were poised to claim it.